What it is, what it ain't, what it do, what it don't, what it will, what it won't, all of those things. We are in the building for another episode of the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. For those who have never been a part of this experience, fasten your seatbelt and enjoy what is the intersection of sports, business, and entertainment. If we had to describe it in a pop culture way, it's where show me the money meets just give me the damn ball. More scientifically, the Ball Hawk Sports Talk is where the managerial decisions of big finance meet the weekly storylines of sports and entertainment. The crew is in the building. We have sports, we have business, we have entertainment, we have another phenomenal show geared up, ready for you. And so, no further ado, let's go. In the building, we have from the Middle Coast, the man, the myth, the legend. Thou shall be intergalactically known and respected as. When you say his name, say it with reverence, say it with bass in your voice. Make sure you sit up in your chair. Make sure you don't make too much eye contact because it has been known to make him upset. He is known as the Big Flow Show. What's up, my brother?
Not enough, man. Not enough. Just trying to make life happen, living every day, being blessed. I feel blessed this morning, to be honest with you. A lot of people in this world going through a lot of different things, and sometimes you just got to remember things are okay. So I feel blessed today. It's a Friday. It's above zero outside. This is Chicago, though. I'm not gonna complain. I just said I was blessed. It was 75 yesterday, 35 today. I think that's unfair, but I don't know that that's what I'm saying. I'm still blessed, still happy.
Mm-hmm.
But God, if you're listening, maybe a little.
I like how you said that, Connor. You backed off. It wasn't you. You didn't come in too strong. So God can at least
I don't want to seem
appreciate you.
unappreciative. I don't want to seem unappreciative. It's above freezing. But I had on shorts yesterday. Huh? I don't know if this is exactly.
It's a delta of 40, baby. That's a biblical number. 40 days, 40 nights. Y'all got a delta of 40 in your temperature, baby.
I don't know if you drew the play up that way, but this is what happened. So you didn't see the safety coming.
Okay. I love it.
I'm just saying, love you, God. I love everybody, man. I'm blessed. I'm still blessed, but I'm more blessed at 55.
You could be cold and blessed.
That's true. They're not mutually exclusive. I just think 55 was a more appropriate day 2 from 75. That's all I'm just saying.
Right.
But you know what? That's why no one's ever asked me to control the world.
Well, I think interestingly enough, since you have delicately walked not feeling or acknowledging being blessed, or also, complain that it's cold outside. I think you did a good job.
Room for improvement. Not a complaint. Just point out rooms for improvement.
Room for improvement. Dear God.
Dear God.
This could be warmer.
Yeah. God, just a little. That's a little. But then we got nerve. I see I'm starting to get negative. But then we got nerve to have sunshine. So it looks like I'm tripping. If I showed you outside, you wouldn't believe I was 35.
It's just for show. Sometimes the sun is just for show.
It's to get you outside. It's like, come on, man. No, it's good. We good. No, leave that coat. Look at the sun. Grab your shades and freeze.
So right on cue, man. I love the fact that you were wrestling with this idea of feeling and acknowledging being blessed, but also it's cold outside because March has been known weather-wise. They say it comes in like a lion and leaves out like a lamb. And that is because normally March, whether it be in the frigid air of the Windy City, Chicago, or in the frigid air of New York City metropolitan area, New Jersey, it's normally cold. And then leaves out like a lamb because of spring. And today's episode is going to have a lot of that up and down. In like a lion, out like a lamb. Oops, it ain't out like a lamb. Today's episode is going by the title of Out Like a Ram. A play off of the wintry and spring weather of March, but also like a ram. I got to celebrate what is my 49th birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to me.
Birthday. You're in your 50th lap. The checker flag. That just We got to get the checker flag. Here comes number 50.
Yeah. So I celebrated that, and today's episode is going by out like a lamb because while we are going to deal with some of the sports and entertainment stories of how March came in and how it is transformed, and it is an amazing time of year where you have March Madness, you start picking up the interest in NBA basketball. You've got the pro days for the lead up to the NFL draft. You've got opening day in Major League Baseball, and the NFL is the 24 hours a day, 365 days out of the year league for stories. And so this is a very important, engaged time for sports, business, entertainment. But us Rams, baby. If you know anything about an Aries, which started on March, I think 21st was the first day. An Aries is someone who is courageous, confident, energetic, a natural leader, and often described by peers and family and friends probably as an asshole. We got a lot of that in us, you know what I mean?
I was missing the connection to you until you finished strong. You did finish strong, though. I wasn't sure where we were going.
That's kind of how sometimes it can feel in March with this weather. It's topsy-turvy, but the topsy-turviness of an Aries. I celebrate all my Aries out there. Thank you to everybody who took the time out of their day, including my man Big Flo. I appreciate the call, the text, the social media posts, the mentions, all of the things. If you thought about me and didn't call, great. If you didn't even think about me, you're hearing it now and still give me a well wish. Great. Because we are blessed, man. We are blessed. Wow. So 49. And then I say out like a ram because this is my last year in the 40s. And I am planning to go out like a ram. When I go into 50, it's going to go one way and one way only. I do have one last dunk in my body. I plan to do that on my 50th birthday. Countdown begins.
Can we at least agree that you should train for it? Like you should do this. I got these knees over toes guys. These are great guys. For all those in the 50s whose knees hurt, I go on Instagram. This is a free plug. Knees over toes. They got exercises that'll fix your knees right. I don't make noise when I stand up anymore. I can go down the stairs. I used to go one leg at a time, you know what I mean? Like, or just my right leg go down. Now I can go the other leg. I'm telling you, knees over toes. I'd like you to commit to me in front of all these people that you will train at least 2 months before you try to go dunk a ball because the show doesn't. I
already started training for this. I've been training for this.
What are you doing to train?
I'm doing plyos. I'm doing plyometrics. Yeah, with my track team. I do plyometrics. Stretching. I got yoga in my life now.
Okay.
One of the best things I could have done. You know, I am back using weights. I hadn't done that in a while. And then I've got a whole summer plan to train my sons, and I'll be in my own training system.
Okay.
And then March 26, 2027, when the old man turns 50, when I get over 10 feet and dunk the ball, I just want you to say live on air, because it's a Friday. It's a Friday, so we might take that one Saturday. Mark, and please plan to
make sure you get a hospital with good Wi-Fi.
I just want to hear you say you were right. That's all I want. I ain't gotta say nothing else. You were right. I've been telling y'all I could dunk. Nobody believes me. I know I can. So at 50, it's gonna happen.
So as long as we say, if you get hurt, then you say,
then I gotta say you were right.
I was right. I don't want you to get hurt. Right. You know what? I got love for you, man. I don't want you to do this. Like I tried to advise against it. This is where you.
No, man, I'm not listening.
I normally like to laugh at somebody, but I don't want to see that.
Yeah, we doing this. We doing this, baby. Out like a ram, man. The 40s were fun. I'm hitting into the 50s and out like a ram. Look, winner, you was cool, but you are going out like a lamb right now. You don't. I like a ram right now. You do not want to leave for some reason, as my man Big Flo has just informed us of Chicago. Same thing here. the Groundhog Day did say it was going to be a long, long winter. So this is spring on paper, but it still feels like
It's
winter.
supposed to be 6 weeks. That was the 2nd of February. You don't got your 6 weeks. You got your
I thought it
pound
was
of
8.
flesh.
I thought it went as long as 8.
6 weeks is summer. 6 weeks or more of winter. Whatever it is.
Man.
All right, well, 8 weeks is Tuesday.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? Like
Tuesday, that's when it switched. That's when you can officially complain. Now, at that point, if you want to have a more direct conversation without qualifying it between you and God, then
you have till Tuesday. Worst case scenario. Tuesday is over.
It's a great time of year for those of us who love March Madness. It's a one and done tournament, which I think when it comes to live television, we all sort of consume it on our own time now. So live sport has been the one thing that has been able to maintain its value for the advertising revenue stream. Because if you don't see it, you don't see it. You miss it. March Madness is the ultimate when it comes to, if you don't see it, you miss it. March Madness has been phenomenal. Please tell me that you have been watching and tuned in. For those of you who are watching this particular episode of the Ball Hawk Sports Talk, like we ask you every week, very humbly, please like, comment, share, tag a friend, tag a foe, tag anyone that you know, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the podcast. I see my man Mark's in the building, and he said 81 degrees wherever he is, and I appreciate the happy birthday. Shout out, Mark. Appreciate you joining in. For those,
I don't appreciate the reference to the weather because, Mark used to live up here. He just moved down there. He's down there in the villages of Florida. So now
he knew to it. He knew to it. Okay.
Send pictures of the beach. Nobody wants to see all that. Nobody wants to see all that, Mark. If I wanted to know the weather, if I want to know the weather down there, I would have looked it up.
Right. Don't you ever volunteer.
No volunteer. Speak when spoken to, my friend.
I love the fact that he is taking up my state and my weather. Enjoy it down there, Mark. I love the fact that he's already commented. We asking anyone else who's in the live audience, please don't be a stranger in terms of engagement. Like, comment, share, tag a friend, tag a foe, tag anyone you know. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, the podcast. Weigh in, y'all. We gonna get it because March Madness to me is the best. I hate to be a prisoner of the moment. And recency bias is a real thing. But I don't know if there's a better sporting tournament, all in all, right? We all watch the Super Bowl. So that is the crescendo event of the NFL that we all have to watch. So that's probably at the top of the mountain in terms of single events. But tournaments, there's nothing better than March Madness.
There's nothing better. I just came from Las Vegas. Went out there last weekend to watch it. And I'll admit,
that's equivalent to Mark bragging about the weather. Everybody want to hear about you going to Vegas while the rest of us had to stay home and schlep.
But you know how much money I had to risk to go out there? The sacrifice, the financial sacrifice I made. Although I came out, hey, me and Vegas had a tie. Felt like a soccer player. We tied.
Tie normally goes to the house, but tell me
the runner because I ran up out of there. Tie goes to the runner, and I ran the hell up out of there. So. I feel in some ways I won, but in some ways I don't feel like I won. But it was a good time and I enjoyed it. But I'll say that, when you think about, we're coming up on the NBA playoffs, that's done by series, right?
Right.
That's done with the top 16 teams. To think that there's 68? Because you got to count that first round.
Yeah, the first 4, last 4, whatever they do, you got to play for the 16th seed.
Because Texas played to get in, right? They had to play in.
Yeah, Texas beat NC State.
Yeah, and then they had to play in, and they won a game.
Yeah, everybody was saying they were dangerous. They played NC State for the 11. Yep.
And then they almost won yesterday, but it didn't happen. Then they lost. But
great game, phenomenal game.
But I'm at last night. I was out eating a chicken wing. Can I say that, or is that bragging? I was eating chicken wings last night.
Were they lemon pepper?
No, I went Cajun this time because they put.
You can break. I don't.
So I had chicken wings last night, and I was at the bar by myself. Had a couple beers, just a few, and the Illinois game was good. The Iowa game was good.
Phenomenal game. Nebraska lost at the end, just completely.
But I'm at a bar like this, watching the Iowa game, watching the Purdue game, going back and forth, and it's just so good when you think about basketball is we're accustomed to. I mean, I don't know what you grew up on more, the NBA the finals or NCAA tournament, but like, basketball should be played by series because anybody can beat anybody any given day.
Yeah.
But over a series, you find out who the better team is. So to have a team of 64, a tournament of 64 or 68, however it goes up to now, single elimination is fantastic. I mean, it's just that's why it's a 1 in 5 quintillion chance of having a perfect bracket, which seems so silly that you think that there's no way you could get a perfect bracket, right? Nobody's going to get it all right. That just shows you the excitement level that there has to be. That you look at football, the football playoffs, fantastic, best thing we ever had. But somebody could have predicted that. A bunch of people could have predicted that and got it right. Like who won each game?
Yeah.
You could get it. But to think that no one ever gets this basketball tournament and picks it all right, that's fantastic. That just shows you the fantastic.
And with the new money that's been infused in college sports, and I already said this, like whether it be, youth sports, high school, college, if me and my dog, all right, you and I, we decide to go transfer to a school. We're basketball kids, and we both are top players. Just the two of us could impact that team and that program with just two players. It just takes so many more players to create impact in football, which is why hats off to, Kurt Signetti in Indiana. It just takes a lot more. Whereas basketball, you just need two players. In some cases, you only need one. Carmelo Anthony, Carmelo Anthony freshman year, what he was able to do is just he changed the whole program in that moment. So that to me is the difference between the two playoffs, college football playoffs and college basketball playoffs. But having said that, there are a lot of teams that have spent significant amounts of money, have been allocated the budget, that are now playing some great basketball. You look at the top budgets over the year, all of them made it to at least the tournament. That top 5, they all made it to the tournament. I think the only one that went out first round was Louisville. Louisville was round of 64.
Kentucky, they didn't go out.
Kentucky, they made 32.
They made 32.
They made 32. Kentucky made 32. Louisville was out in 64. You got Duke still in it. Somebody just lost.
Duke's the only one still in it.
Duke's the only one still. So, but having said that, I think that's worth your money. If you get to have that high profile of a platform to show what you can do, and you at least make it to the tournament, you don't think that's worth it? You think you gotta go to what? At least Sweet 16 to make it worth that money?
High Point made it to 32.
High Point got money. I have a neighbor that went to High Point, and I said the same thing. This is a few days ago. I'm outside.
Has money.
High Point has money. They spent money this year.
On who?
On whoever they got on their roster. Now, this young man just graduated. He was a manager of the women's basketball team, but really informed. And I said the same thing, almost knowing that there's no way High Point has the same budget. And he's like, nah, man. He's like, actually, High Point,
beautiful campus,
has tons of money, and they spent it on basketball, men's basketball. So even High Point, right? So they would be the Indiana. I was like, oh, the days of, and I said this to him, like, oh man, great job, High Point. It might be the last of the Cinderella stories because it's this, thing called money. And he's like, we're not really a Cinderella. High Point had money too. But touche. Your point is well taken.
BYU lost first round.
BYU lost first round. That was the one who lost 64. Everybody else made it past 64. Yeah. BYU was the only one in the top 5 in terms of budget.
The number one guy. And he balled. Yeah. He did everything he's supposed to do, and now he's gone. Was it worth the money?
He flirted with the idea that he might come back, but we all know he lied. He basically said that it's his mother's decision, but he'd be crazy to come back.
Call my mama, man. My mama told me I got to come back.
You had Kentucky at $20 million NCAA budget this year. BYU $13 million. A large share of that went to AJ DeBonsta. You had Duke at $12 million. Arkansas 11.5. They got whooped up on last night by Arizona. And then you had Louisville at 10.5, who I think Louisville did win. They must have won one because it was only one team that went out first round. So Louisville must have went to round of 32.
Mark brings up a good point. Is High Point spent a lot of money because they flew a bunch of their students out there to get some fans at the games. They flew students out there and put them up in hotels.
Oh, did they? They I think High Point chartered a plane.
Mm-hmm.
They did all types of things to show that they're committed to basketball, and where it's located in like
North Carolina, something like that.
Yeah, like the rural parts of North Carolina. You mentioned already how beautiful their campus is. And they've got a good coach. High Point might be onto something. It's really hard to
pick a sport to try to become good at and save what you can do. I think money and a decent coach can get you. You can get a program overnight. The Indiana story becoming a program in 2 seasons is ridiculously hard to replicate. But basketball, like you said, get 2 Trigoons and a coach. You could take a nobody to a somebody in 1 season.
Right. Great tournament so far, and the viewership supports that. Last night you had Arizona over Arkansas. That was the most lopsided win of the evening. And I think it's the most lopsided loss John Calipari's ever had in the tournament, something like that. 109-88. You had Illinois beat Houston by 10. 65-55, a very defensive game. Iowa beat Nebraska. Nebraska had that game won by 6. At one point, they only had 4 players on the court for what was probably the most important possession. And Iowa figures out a way. Nebraska led the whole game. And
is that a penalty to have too few?
No. And shout out to, their coach.
How do you lose? I understand having 12 men on the field. I do.
I know. But
I understand having 10, but 4.
They've got a really good power forward that was asked a question at the post-game conference. And Fred Hoiberg I think he at one point played for the Bulls. Former NBA player.
Coached the Bulls.
Did he coach the Bulls?
He coached the Bulls, yeah.
Okay. Hoiberg played in the NBA somewhere too.
He might have.
Yeah, but I thought it was an amazing show of accountability because he interrupted the question and took all blame for it, which I really like, man. That's the old school.
Who, the coach did?
Yeah, Fred Hoiberg.
Who else is going to take the blame for that?
Well, if you watched it, it looked like there was a lapse in judgment by one of the players who's supposed to be out there. But Fred Hoiberg stopped it, dead stop. Like, nope, full stop. This is on me. And he did hand the ball.
Hey, the ref goes, he looks around, he hands the ball. It's so much time. There's no one else gets the blame. But
Fred Hoiberg said that. He's like, normally you see the refs counting to make sure there are not 6 players. They'll give you a warning. But I guess at 4, they don't have to give you the warning. So he took full blame for it. Accountability is a thing that seems to be suffering in this here America in 2026. So shout out to Fred Hoiberg. I mean, he was the coach of the year. He got that Nebraska team to, I think, 2nd in a very good Big Ten conference. You look at what the Big Ten has done. And he even lost to a fellow Big Ten team. Big Ten is doing phenomenal things.
They got 3 in so far in the 8, and they have 2 more chances.
Yeah.
They could get 5.
And that was the one game that he lost to a Big Ten team. So either way, one of the Big Ten teams.
They fuck around and get 5 of 8. That's crazy, dude.
Most exciting game of the night had to be Purdue and Iowa. Purdue and Texas. Went back to the Iowa game. Purdue and Texas. It was a putback layup to win the game after Braden Smith
missed. He
even
disturbed the net. I thought he missed. I was at the bar, couldn't see well. I thought he missed until I see how the other team reacted. I was like, wow, that thing was pretty.
Yeah. What up, D. Collins? D. Collins says Arizona is the truth. Somebody from my live audience, and I agree. The thing about the March Madness, though, man, is Arizona was the truth last night. And that same team mess around and have a slow start or they couldn't miss. They have a bad shooting performance, and Arizona could be out. That's what makes March Madness so special. There is nothing like it in the sporting world. Before we move on, because I really believe that, I want to give you the schedule for tonight. Tonight, you also have 4 games. On the first slate, you got St. John's versus Duke. St. John's, the 5 seed, versus Duke, the 1 seed. St. John's makes it almost impossible to simply do something like inbound the ball. That was a foregone conclusion. If you look at the percentage of teams that go full court press in college, it is, I think, right at 10% or less.
It looks funny. Don't you feel like you're watching AAU?
It doesn't look real, right? It looks like old school AAU where I got the fastest kids. I'm just going to press you the whole game. Mm-hmm. And we all say to AAU, that's not realistic. St. John's has made it realistic. Patino got them boys out there going 94 feet the entire game. And if you can't inbound that ball, I ain't no mathematician or nothing like that. And I ain't no strategist basketball-wise or nothing like that.
I vouch for you on both.
I mean, I'm a baller, though. I'm a baller.
So you on both. Maybe not the third. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I thought I had you going. I figured I'd just try.
Yeah, I know. I'm slick with mine. I can work it out.
But if you can't inbound the ball, something tells me it's going to be a struggle to win that game. So Duke and St. John's is going to come down to something as simple as, can Duke, on a regular basis, inbound the ball? And if they can, we'll see them in a half-court set and see whether or not Duke can indeed, as a 1 seed, get to Elite 8. The other game in the first slate.
Hey, shout out to Bryce Hopkins. I was watching the game. Bryce Hopkins playing for St. John's. He's a product of our youth basketball program. My son played with him many a game.
Does the youth basketball program still exist? What was the name of the basketball program?
Absolutely not. But it's those things come and go. It was called Illinois Speed. You know, although the guy who ran Illinois Speed, Tikas Pettigrew, shout out to Tikas Pettigrew, his daughter's the number 1 player in the nation. One of his sons is number 2 guard in the nation. His other son is balling at Valpo, and his other son is his oldest son, the one that my son played with, is at so I don't know the school. I can't remember what it's called, but he's got 5 kids. He's got another one coming up too, and
Jeez.
they're all goons. So, but his daughter is
well, he ain't got time for speed no more, man. He ain't got time for Illinois Speed no more.
That's what I was getting at. Thank you for helping me get to what I need to get to, but. At the end of the day, shout out to Bryce Hopkins.
Shout out to him, man. Always good to have a familiar face on the screen doing their thing. It's surreal as well, I can imagine. You probably still see him as Little Bryce. He ain't Little Bryce no more.
6'7".
6'7". The other first slate game is Alabama, the 4 seed, going up against the other 1 seed that's still alive, which is Michigan. Should be a great game. You know, fights come down to just styles, and these 2 styles seem to be perfectly imperfect in terms of how one team versus the other. This should be a great game.
Fantastic.
They are the exact opposites for one another. Then in the second slate, you got Michigan State, the 3 seed, versus UConn, the 2 seed, and then you got Tennessee, the 6 seed, versus Iowa State. My man D. Kyle's in the building. A Vol enthusiast, everything Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee. We'll see if Memphis can do it. Tennessee can do it against Iowa State. Iowa State's been one of those teams all year. It's just been very strong. They built something very special there too. So another night of 4 games to get us to what will then be the Elite 8. Any predictions for tonight? St. John's versus Duke. Who you got?
You asking me to my heart or my brain? My brain, Duke. What
would you bet?
Duke.
Let's go with your pocket.
Duke.
You would bet Duke. I would too. I just, after watching St. John's, man, I just, they're an interesting team, man.
I want St. John's to win, but Duke.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Boozer. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Duke as well. If they can get into the half court, and that's a big if. Big if. Alabama versus Michigan. Who you got?
I'm gonna have to go Michigan.
I'm going Bama on that one. Michigan, to me, has been flirting with a great team and then an average team. It's too up and down to me. I'm going Alabama. I really enjoyed that coach and how steady he has made that Alabama basketball program. I don't think the guy who's in his 30th year eligibility is playing. I think the judge stepped in and won't let him play, but so they don't get any advantage
It'd be
age-wise.
interesting if Alabama becomes a basketball school. If this basketball team wins a game or two, and becomes more successful than their football.
It should be very interesting. They've got some consistency as it stands. Even last night, Iowa, Nebraska. Like, are we watching basketball? Iowa, Nebraska? That's supposed to be football.
Sure.
Second slate, Michigan State versus UConn. Who you got?
I gotta go with Izzo.
Go on, Izzo. Yeah,
I gotta go Izzo. I'm an Izzo fan, and I kind of want to see.
Izzo only got one championship, man. There's some random troll guy on social media was talking about how Michigan State doesn't produce NBA guys, and he was completely wrong. Completely, like, I could smell his breath through the take. Like, all of it was stank. But what he pointed out from an empirical data standpoint was, I think Izzo only had one champion. That was the one thing that shocked me. I should have checked it. Should have fact checked it before I said it.
Hey Alexa, how many NCAA championships does Tom Izzo have?
Tom Izzo has won one NCAA championship as head coach of Michigan State in 2000.
That's something that you would lose a bar bet.
Yeah, right. When he said it, I didn't like anything about the take, but he said that one data point. Like, well, he's either lying or either wrong or lying. If that
turns out he was right. C.
Turns out he was option C. None of the above. He was dead on. I'm going UConn, man. I'm going UConn, and I'll tell you why. This late in the year, in these high pressure situations, when the whole world is watching, it's Friday night of the Sweet 16, and ain't too much to do right now. You got places like Chicago that keep flirting with the idea of being a winter or spring. People are going to be inside watching basketball, and I just like Hurley, man. Something about him, something about his moxie, something about his leadership. Out like a ram, man. He's a ram. I would not be surprised if Hurley is an Aries. He is such an asshole that I think he's a great leader. And I'm going with UConn on that. Last but certainly not least, drum roll, please. Tennessee versus Iowa State. Tennessee the 6 seed, Iowa State the 2 seed. Tennessee has amazing guard play. I like that. I guess it's a guard. I don't even know what you call that freshman at this point. When you're 6'9" or whatever, dribbling like that, I guess I don't know what you call them these days. But I have enjoyed watching him play. But Iowa State has been quite the team this year. At one point, I thought they were going to get a 1 seed. Tennessee versus Iowa State. Who you got?
I would go Iowa State. I'm going to go Iowa State. I don't even have a good reason. I'm just going to go Iowa State.
They've been a good team. They've been a good team. They don't just give away 2 seeds. I'm going to go Iowa State with that as well. Sorry, D. Collins. There's something about the steadiness at Iowa State that makes me real comfortable while watching them play. So we'll see. But that would mean if you were right and Michigan State and Tom Izzo gets in, if you were right and Michigan gets in, that would be in the Elite 8, 5 Big Ten schools.
Yeah, that would be amazing. A 5.
Can you spell dominance?
I mean,
Big 10.
Yep. I mean, they already dominate football. SEC may just close down. If
all together,
just shut it
pitch
down.
a tent. I'm out.
Maybe they'll merge with the Pac-12.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see this year of football. To be determined with football. But shout out to the Big Ten, man. We'll see tonight. Great games. Most importantly, because you know what the Ball Hawk Sports Talk is. It's where those managerial decisions of big finance collide with the current storylines of sports and entertainment. And while March Madness is doing this thing, we're going to move on topic-wise. What we got to acknowledge is that people are tuned in.
Mm-hmm.
They are watching, ladies and gentlemen. March Madness has also shown us viewership madness. Eyeballs have been attached to this TV or whatever, however you're watching it. And the numbers prove that. First round, 9.5 million viewers on average. That's a 9% increase year over year from 2025. And it is the most watched first round of all time. Second round, you had 11 million viewer average. It's the most watched second round since 1993. 1993, you still had the high top fade with the little joint in it. You know what I'm talking about?
That's when they had the Fab Five was playing ball.
Yep.
Everybody wanted to see that.
The most watched since 93. The Dookie chain was live in effect in 93. 2 Live Crew was rocking. Luther Campbell.
You had just started high school.
I ain't just start high school now. I'm in the middle of high school.
You had just got your library card. You couldn't might tell you nothing.
Can't tell me nothing. It is the most watched second round since 1993. The 2 rounds on average they broke a new record for a 2-round average, and it is across platforms: CBS, TNT, TBS, and True TV. And it has been scintillating. It has been everything you could ask for. This is why. And please, for those who are watching in a live audience, feel free to debate me. There is nothing better from a tournament perspective in all of sports than March Madness. I can't fight with the Super Bowl as a single event, but I'm going March Madness over college football. I'm going March Madness over anything you can think of. Professional, amateur, anything and everything in between. March Madness is the thing that you have to see, because the next morning you want to be able to talk about it at the barbershop. You don't want to see just the highlights. You want to understand the flow of the game. March Madness got it, man. They do.
Here's what I will say, and then Dennis, thanks for all your comments or whatever. I'm trying to put you up there.
World Cup, he says.
That's a good question. The thing about March Madness that makes it so good and so unique to a sporting event, if you think about the NBA playoffs, right? Until you get to the Eastern Conference finals and Western Conference, you kind of start picking up people, right? March Madness is beautiful in the beginning, the middle, like right now, Sweet 16, whatever. Beautiful. You know,
because the stakes are the same every game.
Every game, it's the same.
If you lose, you gotta go bye-bye.
And if you have like if you start to look at your brackets, my bracket's been busted so bad, I'm mad I brought it up by accident. But if you have your brackets, you start looking and doing the matchups. Well, if I need this guy to win and this to lose because too many people had this and whatever, it's the most like, comparing boxing to UFC. Right, and I don't know if you're a UFC fan, but boxing you don't even want to watch till it's the main event and the co-main or the
you're watching the main event.
You don't want to watch anything else. UFC, well, I like UFC a little bit more. Is that UFC? You want to watch all the fights. You want to come in from the very first fight because you never know what you're going to get.
You never. And that's somebody could get their foot broken. And
you never know what's going to happen. Nice knockout. You never know what happens. But I will say that the March Madness has that effect. You don't want to miss any of the first round games. Only game I don't watch is I don't think to watch is the play-in game.
I watched even the play-in game.
I didn't watch it. I feel like that's the last night I give.
But because you had the HBCUs this year trying to vie for their spot, Howard made it in. I thought that was cool. And then the 11, I mean, that Texas versus NC State game was amazing. And you had two teams that were arguably like that's the thing when they do the seeds.
11th seed. That's not fair. Like, why don't you? It should only
say that again.
That you got a battle to be the 11th seed. You're telling me that if I win, I'm better than 14 to 15 that just got in?
Oh, I think they got it right though, Flo. That last 4 out instead of me saying right, because after 11, then you get into the conference champions, and it's more about you have earned the right because you won a championship, not because you're better than, in this case, NC State. So I think they got it right by making the play-in, and then anybody can get hot. Very similar to what the NBA is doing with their play-in, right? Texas got hot, but for a putback with no time left after a Braden Smith missed shot, Texas could be in overtime fighting to go to the Elite Eight. And so I think that they got it right. But the environment, and Dennis, DC says, World Cup, which makes sense. But even the World Cup, you have stages. You have time to mess up. Ain't no time to mess up, Jack.
And they got the pool play. Yeah, you're right.
You got to win or take your ass back to campus.
Yeah, you got pool.
You don't know how many suits to pack. You don't know how many, socks. You don't know how long.
As a fan, you have tickets. That's why the ticket thing is so crazy, because I got tickets for tonight and I wanted to stay till Saturday and watch the game, but we got beat. So
we got beat. So what I got to do out of the secondary market? But March Madness got it going on. Viewership suggested. And so shout out to March Madness. Shout out to the teams that are still dancing. Shout out to Notre Dame on the women's side. March Madness is not just men's anymore. Notre Dame women figured out a way to make it to the Sweet 16. Let's go, Notre Dame. Go Irish.
Having a bad year, but you're the top 16 team in the country. Let's go ahead. Let's see.
You can't be upset.
One more game, you Elite Eight. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Shout out. And you get to really see the personality. I think what March Madness has really done is capture the personalities of their players, of the participants, and their families. And so, yes, it is sort of the byproduct of us being so brand focused and each one of these athletes being their own brand in the NIL ecosystem. But also, I think it's just a part of what makes March Madness special. Shout out. Let's talk about this, man, because we mentioned NC State Texas play-in game, right? And that NC State Texas play-in game had a man on the sideline coaching NC State who is now on the move again. Will Wade came over from McNeese State. McNeese State was one of those teams that had a great storyline last year. Cinderella team.
Was that
they had a manager with the boombox.
Yeah.
They had the manager with the boombox who also transferred to NC State. I don't know if he got any more years of college left. Maybe he's going to LSU now too. But Will Wade was the guy who was fired from LSU. He coached from 2017 to 2022. Fired amidst allegations of recruiting violations in the pre-NIL era. He went to McNeese State for 3 years, did his thing there. He then went to NC State this year, got them to at least a play-in. I don't know if that even counts as I guess that counts as a NCAA appearance. We watched the game, and it was March Madness logo.
I think they got some T-shirts, and
a great game. They lost a tough game to
a team that won to a Sweet 16.
To a team that went to Sweet 16.
32.
They were 20-14 this year.
Yeah.
And after 1 year, after coming and making the athletic director believe that he was going to change the program around, he almost got one of the kids from my son's high school, Blair, that guard that's going to Duke, I know was seriously considering NC State. And then Will Wade said, take my hat, my coat, because I'm about to leave. And I'm going back to LSU where they're going to pay me a king's ransom.
So they fired him and brought him back?
Fired him and brought him back. Now, shout out to LSU. Because this means that
we know you could do this in this environment. You did it when it was illegal.
This means that Brian Kelly could be hired back.
Can you do that?
Shout out to LSU.
Come on.
Because what they realize is what was illegal then ain't illegal now. And he was so good at doing what he was doing that we had to fire him because of the allegations. So how dare we not bring him back? But Jay Billis and others have pointed give him the same career. Jay Billis and others have pointed out the hypocrisy in high-level college sports, because you have the athletic directors and the purists, the old school coaches, complaining how NIL, a revenue share, has made it almost impossible to build any culture because everyone is just trying to find the next bag. They've made sort of this point of emphasis on how turbulent it is to coach because you got to recruit kids on your own damn roster.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay Billis, to his credit, and others have pointed out hypocrisy because the Will Wade way has been the way that coaches have thrived and lived in this space forever. You go take what is the next best offer. When you have a job, you're always looking for another job. And if you get a chance to marry up, you go. You don't care about who you hurt on the way out. You don't care about who's left to pick up the ashes.
Not my problem.
You don't care about the culture that you were trying to create. You don't care about the kids. You don't care about none of that. But now that the rabbit got a gun too, and the athletes can do the same, everybody is virtue signaling, talking down on these athletes. Do you think the Will Wade way, right, wrong, or indifferent, is the way the college coaches and players should go about this? Or do we need to get some honor amongst thieves?
Don't use the word honor. Not when you're talking about college sports. I almost feel like
didn't that used to be the foundation of college sports?
I don't smoke weed no more. But this is I'm coughing. Look at that. This is a weed moment. So I'm gonna get deep. Somebody once told me that college sports is the best conditional love that you'll ever have in your life. And I laugh because I keep being reminded of that. And I keep thinking about how great these coaches are to you, how great the university is to the coaches when things are going well. You're the man, you're the lady, you're the woman.
Yeah.
We love you. You know, I talk to my friends now that have college athletes, and they talk about how the head coach calls them and talks to them, or when they go in town, sometimes they lift weights with the people, and everything's great. And I'm like, let your son start fucking up. Like let your son drop a fucking ball or do something late. You're gonna find out how much that dude don't really like you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let yourself stop having any sort of value. Let it have again. They fired LSU. They sat him down and said, listen, we're gonna have to let you go.
Oh, yeah.
Unacceptable behavior, what you did.
And these were allegations. I don't think anything at the time was substantiated. So on the eve of allegations, they tapped them on the shoulder.
Nation can't afford you and your poor judgment anymore. You no longer represent the direction that the university would like to go. And effective immediately, you out. Until you go someplace else and do well. Now, hold on a second. You know we had to say that shit, right? Like, hold up. Come on back, man. We good. And he's like,
so this is, of course, this is what it is.
I know you talked to me like you called me everything but a child of God. But I'm coming back. There's no fucking honor. There's no integrity. There's no nothing. It's all bullshit. It's all window dressing. It's all manipulation and posturing and doing different things. If you think about the way we are right now in sports, you went from all these people thinking these kids shouldn't get paid. This is amateurism, whatever. My son I use everything with my son to say from a timeline. This should be his senior year. This is a fourth year here. When he got to school, you couldn't transfer like that, right? The transfer portal just opened it. You had one transfer.
You literally are living it. You're seeing the transition.
This is in my son's 4-year maturation. You had one transfer as an undergrad when he was there. That seems like 700 years ago. There was no NIL money. They were just going to start the NIL money the next year, his sophomore year. They were just going to start it his sophomore year. And now we're already paying guys $2 million, $3 million, whatever. It just shows you if there was any honor and there's any integrity or there's anything about it that had about beliefs or what's right and what's wrong, it wouldn't get out of control as quick as it does because people don't care. Now people are getting $500,000 to come sit on the bench. Me and one of my friends were talking the other day saying, like, you know, down in the SEC, the going rate, you can tell by how much they give you what's starter money, what's backup money, and what's just in case money. You know, they're paying all this stuff like that. Nobody cares, just throwing out. Then there's people not coming that are bouncing checks. They're not making payroll. They got teams not making payroll now. That's a new issue.
There are a lot of teams in the red that they got to figure it out. But yeah,
can't figure it out. Your team in Rutgers, they lost like $32 million.
That's my team. My team.
You're
Put
from
that
New
on
Jersey.
me.
Your tax dollars going towards the Reds. Wait till your property tax go up and you ask me if it ain't your team. If you don't think you should get some free tickets with the game. All I'm saying is it's amazing how just kind of the how it goes back and forth, whatever. So I would not use the word honor. I would not use the word integrity. I would think if you get away from those words, it feels better. You know, like the scorpion.
Transactional only. This is transactional business.
It's the scorpion and the frog. Is that what it is? Where the frog gives the scorpion a ride and
I think that's it. Yeah.
This applies here. I can't tell the story right, but I know that the frog gets a ride across. The scorpion wants a ride across, and the scorpion says, "I'm scared you're gonna sting me in the back." And they go across the water, and the scorpion stings his ass in the back, and they both drown. He said, "Why you sting me?" He said, "I'm a scorpion." I just think that's exactly the situation in this. It's like, why did you go back to school that fired you? So I'm a scorpion.
I'm a scorpion. This is what I do.
I'm a scorpion. That's what I do. They offered me some bread. They had a ball. They had 10-foot rims. Let's go. Let's go. Buy you Bengals. Let's go. I don't care.
I just
Mr. Boombox had traveled. I might bring him with me. Did he? He didn't make a showing. They didn't win any games. Fuck him. He can say NC State. They don't care.
His top guard too is a kid from this area that he took with him to McNeese State and then went with him to.
They got guards in LSU.
NC State. He's probably gonna be. Well, if he has eligibility, I don't know.
He might come. If he doesn't, who cares? He doesn't think about this guy. He's not worried about it. I'm a scorpion.
If that's where we are,
that's where we are.
Then I think it requires us in open spaces, in real conversations, when we hear these holier than thou judgmental people trying to cast aspersions on athletes because they too are abiding by the Will Wade way. They're a scorpion. They're looking for the next bag and trying to blame these young student athletes for whatever weaknesses that their program, their institution, their athletic department has.
Mm-hmm.
It's incumbent upon us to say, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. I don't know if I could have picked better words than you just picked. It's mostly people
we can just shorten it. We'll say STFU. But truth be told is that you cannot have one without the other. No. And Jay Billis made a great point. If you don't have an issue with Will Wade leaving after one single season at NC State, stop talking about fill in the blank with any athlete that finds a bigger bag.
The goal, I got to tell you, is in these transactions, don't be the frog, right? Don't be the frog. Don't be the guy that trusts someone not to be a scorpion, right? You have to know damn well that the scorpion, it can't resist. He's going to do what he's going to do. So if you just don't let yourself be a frog, it's not going to be that bad. If you go into
Does that make it tougher for guys like us who at one point there was honor and integrity in sports? So as a sports dad.
So we thought. We've only found out now that we were being exploited this whole time. So what was there any honor or integrity? You know what I'm saying? We had been exploited.
It might be even worse. They didn't tell us. They didn't even let us know. We got all this money. We make you think that the cost of room and board and your tuition offsets that.
Yeah, we couldn't have cream cheese on our bagels because that was a meal. That was too much benefit. How dare you? You can't get a job. That's too much benefit. We bought into that shit. Guy had cream cheese on. He's a cheater. He's a damn cheater. He's a cheater. What are you doing? You had a job on campus? They're illegal over there, cheating.
How dare you actually work for money? Yeah,
you sold your ticket. You sold the bowl watch that somebody gave you because your mom needs rent money.
You got a free tattoo.
Ooh, a free tattoo. You'll never coach again. Trestle's never coached again. Never been a head coach again. We can't trust him with these men. They're getting tattoos for free. What are they doing? What are we doing? I sent my son to you to become a man. This is what he comes back. He got a free tattoo. Are you kidding me? We've been exploited and we've been hoodwinked and we've been fed a line of a bill of goods. We're frogs. We're frogs. We found out we're frogs.
The whole time,
The whole time we've been frogs, we didn't realize it.
Oh man!
All these scorpions on our back, and we just now found out we're frogs. Damn it!
In that case, I'm Will Wade then, man, because I'm one of those people that try to be a purist. When I see kids hopping in the portal, now mine isn't from a monetary standpoint. I do think that there's something that went along with being on that campus and being on that roster and being in that family of brothers that has been so beneficial for me. And that's the part that I'm nervous about players not getting that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if compensated handsomely enough, we can get over it, man. We can get over it.
For the right incentive. Give me the right wetsuit, I might give you that ride on my back. I might get you. I might not take you across, but I'll get you to the next lily pad.
I'll get you to the next lily pad.
Then you gotta get off.
We'll see, man. But Will Wade, shout out to you for finding your next opportunity. For all those who followed Will Wade from McNeese State to NC State, you better hope that they got some space on LSU's roster and their student body and their admissions class.
Yeah.
For those of you NC State fans that thought that this was going to be the turnaround, he was going to be a man to lead it. Sorry, not sorry. Him gone. Him gone.
Him out there scorpion somebody else. He knows somebody. Bring him in the scorpion.
You're the NC State frogs.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff, though, man. I do think that Jay Billis and others have pointed out the hypocrisy and sort of the double standard that we have allows us to at least create an even-handed analysis for whether it be Will Wade taking his next bag or somebody on said roster that finds a more lucrative opportunity. It's the same. Everybody got bills to pay. The NBA is heating up, man. It is heating up. Your Lakers. Notice how I did that. I made sure I made the distinction that I ain't got nothing to do with them boys now. But your Lakers are in third in the West and playing well, playing very well. But the West is separated by literally inches, man. It's a photo finish. 3 through 7 are separated by a grand total of 7 games. 3 through 6 separated by 4 games. So you got the Thunder and the Spurs and the league in a class of their own, 57 and 55 wins respectively. And Wemby playing crazy basketball. We'll see if that lasts. And then you got that second tier. Second tier in order. Lakers, Nuggets, T-Wolves, Rockets. That is 3 through 6. I'll put the Suns in there. 40 wins at 7. Great time to be an NBA basketball fan, right? You figure at this point,
in general, it's been beautiful the last couple of years.
Great, man.
NBA top last year, the NBA Finals is as disgusting as it was for the Lakers not to be part of it. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
Yeah, man. I would say, it's gonna come down to these last, what they got. They're 73 games in, so you got less than 10 games, most of them. Right, you got less than 10 games, and you look at the last 10 games. That's separation season, right? You got the Thunder and the Spurs both 9-1 in their last 10, and then you got the Lakers while in third. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games. Nuggets are 7-3. T-Wolves are 5-5. Then you got the Rockets and the Suns at 6-7 and 4-6 in the last 10 games. So these last 9 games will absolutely determine seeding in the playoffs. But I feel like the West, anybody can win, man. I know you have a personal favorite, so I'm not going to ask you to predict because I know you cannot eliminate heart from your head from your heart with this analysis. But it should be some really, really good basketball down the stretch. On the East, similar, man. You got the Pistons out front, but Celtics closing. Then you got the Knicks playing well, 7-3 in their last 10 games. You got the Cavs with, Harden and D. Mitchell. Like anybody, it's anybody's ball game right now in the East too. From there, I'll give the first 4 a legitimate shot: Pistons, Celtics, Knicks, Cavs, and then from there, it tapers off a bit, but record-wise, not much. You got the new and improved Hawks, you got Toronto, you got the 76ers at 7, the Magic at 8, Hornets at 9, and my Miami Heat are still in the playoff situation at 10. So there is no prediction. NBA basketball has been phenomenal this year. And for all of us who thought that there's going to be a drop-off, we were wrong. We were wrong. I predict that the Celtics will come out of the East to play in the championship. And I predict, I know it's going to sound crazy, especially because right now they're in the 6th seed. I'm predicting, well, not to come out the West, but I do think that they'll make it the Western Conference Championship. I'm predicting the Rockets to go to the Western Conference Championship. Crazy prediction, but I predict.
I'm getting real impressed with this Wemby guy. I think he's gonna go down. He's tracking. He's tracking. Let me just say that. He's tracking to be the GOAT one of these days. I think I mean, look at this. They were a lottery pick 2 years ago to get him. And they're the number 2 seed right now with a healthy margin. They have a legitimate chance to make it the road to the finals. What do we say about Wemby if he does that? What do we say about him? I mean, he is
in year 2.
We talked about
he's
his
in year
stats.
2, right? He's year 2.
This is year 3.
Year 3.
He got hurt though for a big piece of something. One of the years he was hurt. I think his rookie year he only played a part of the year.
Yeah. What does this say? I think you gotta create a little consistency before we really dive into what does this say about Wemby.
That's fair. I'll wait.
But in terms of single games, single highlights, I mean the dunk he had the other night. How do you do that? Oh, you're 7'4" and athletic, like a guard. That's how you.
I don't like when we talk about it like that. It's part of your skill set. Randy Moss is tall and he's fast. No one ever says it's because you're fast. Like why come we don't treat speed like height? Well you're a 4'3". You're a 4'2". Yeah, okay. I'm a 4'2". That makes me. I'm still good. Like don't say, well, you're 7'4". I mean. Okay, there's a lot of people who, could jump out the gym. Well, you have a 50-inch vertical jump. You act like that's some shit.
I'm not diminishing what he did.
This guy, it's part of who he is.
Yeah, you're right. I'll give you that. Whether or not he's going to be the guy, the face of the league, yes, because of his international and global prowess. Whether he's going to go down as one of the greatest ever, that's where I'm not willing to go yet. You got to have consistency.
No. You're 100%. I'm jumping the gun. Way too early prediction. But I'm just saying.
Bo balling over there in China. I think he's in China.
Did you just say that out loud?
He's balling.
You said that out loud, so everybody can hear you? He's balling in China.
My man Scott Bibb, you laugh me if you want. All I'm saying is the Rockets going to make it to the Western Conference Finals. I'm trying to help y'all out with y'all bets.
I'm talking about motherfucking Taco Falls. Ain't sweet like that. Remember that dude who came in? What is his name? Thon Maker. You don't even know if he's at the Y League. It was a goon coming out, we thought.
All of those players you mentioned, aside from Bobo, who's Scott Bibb, thank you for the comment, Scott Bibb. Appreciate you, my brother, and encouraging others to like, comment, share, tag a friend, tag a foe, subscribe to the YouTube channel of the podcast. Other than Bobo, who Scott Bibb mentions, all those guys were a little heavy in terms of their movement, their feet.
Okay.
And I think that what's scaring me about Wemby is he's the opposite. What's scaring me is the propensity for injury, probability, I'll say, to get injured. At that slight,
KD's skinny as hell too, and he don't figure it out.
Yeah, but I mean, his most crucial championship, he got hurt. And the championship that would have changed his legacy, because that would have been 3 MVPs, and he got hurt.
Can we go off book real quick? We talk about KD, or let me let you finish your Wemby though.
No, but that's my only concern. It's finished. My only concern is injury with Wemby. My only concern. And I do think the Thunder or the Spurs, to Scott Bibbs' point, will be the other team in the Western Conference final. The way, if it goes down now, they would be on opposite sides of the Western Conference bracket.
I think it'll finish that way. I think the way that the record, I don't think there's really much of a chance.
You got 9 games left, so things could change at the top.
They got 4 games on the Lakers. I think they're 50 wins. Let me see.
Yeah, they have on the Lakers right now. Lakers have done well the last 10 games.
They're done. They got
8 games on.
They're either the 1 or the 2 seed. They have 57 wins as the Thunder, 55 wins as the Spurs.
They can't catch the Thunder. There's not enough games.
They can catch the Thunder. The Spurs?
There's only 9 games left.
They're only 2 games behind them.
The Thunder, Lakers?
Oh, no, sorry. The Spurs.
No, they're 10 games behind the Lakers.
No. The Spurs. I was saying.
I'm sorry.
You were saying that the matchup right now they're the 1 and 2 seed. Period. There's
yes.
Yeah, that's
so they'll be on opposite sides.
Yeah.
When I say it'll go down like that, they'll probably be 1 and 2. But Lakers are close enough to strike against the Spurs. If the Spurs have an abysmal last 9 games stretch, they're close enough to catch the Spurs to get the 2. I don't think that the Lakers are going to continue to play this well. They're 9-1, and still, to me, a very weak defensive team, to say the least. So we shall see. But I got the Rockets. Playing in the Western Conference final, meaning they got to upset somebody, either the Spurs or the Thunder, to get there. But I got them going to the Western Conference final. If it goes down like this, that means the Lakers would play the Rockets in the first round, 3 versus 6. All right, you'd have 1 versus 8. That's the Clippers, right? You got the play-in situation, so you don't know. But right now, the Clippers are 8. Somebody that no one wants to play because Kawhi Leonard is playing very well right now. Then you got the Spurs playing the Suns, 2 versus 7. I think people would rather play the Suns versus the Clippers. But, yeah, the Lakers would be playing the Rockets, 3 versus 6. So we shall see. On the Eastern Conference side, I think the Pistons and the Celtics are in a league of their own. While the Knicks have had a great last 10-game stretch, 7-3. While your man Brunson is back to Mighty Mike status around this time, looking into the playoff picture, he's probably the most electric guard in the playoffs for the last 2 playoff cycles. It's been very fun to watch. I just don't think the Knicks have enough. Celtics and the Knicks are tied 48 wins, but the Knicks have more losses. They've played more games, and so the Celtics right now are still in the 2 spot. A lot to still be played for. It's a lot closer when you look at 2 through 8, right? It's anybody's game still on the East. So I'll give you last word, man. NBA heats up, getting ready for the playoffs. This is the time that we finally start watching it. I'll give you last word. You let me know what you think as we get ready for these playoffs.
I'm curious about about the Cleveland with Harden now. Let's see how that works out with Harden. As much as I'm not a Harden fan when it comes to postseason, I just think it's interesting. You know what I mean? It's an interesting situation to have him added over there. So it's going to be exciting playoffs regardless. Yeah. I want to go off book and talk about something we didn't bring up before in the pregame. But what do you think about Zeke and his comments about Michael Jordan and KD?
What is Zeke said? What exactly?
He said that if you put Kevin Durant and Michael Jordan's place on those Bulls teams, they win the same championships. They're interchangeable there. Kevin Durant scoring all those points with half the shots attempts that Jordan did, and if they let him get the green light that Jordan had, that it would be the same thing.
I think Zeke he's
a hater, but that's okay.
No, I think Zeke is definitely smoking some good blood. Some of Chicago's finest, I would say. South side, but that high grade high to make that statement. Either that or he's so much a hater that he can't even see the tip of his nose because he's too focused on the hate in his eyes, brother. There's no way. Michael Jordan was also all defensive team. Michael Jordan is given that place as the GOAT for all the intangibles, leadership qualities. Michael Jordan was, a killer in every aspect of the game. The scoring was a part of the things that you described about Michael Jordan when describing his killerness. I don't think you can exchange one for the other. And I'm not certain. I like Kevin Durant. I do. I absolutely like Kevin Durant. But you got to put Kevin Durant in a very physical East. If you're exchanging one for the other, that means that Kevin Durant's got to eventually beat the physical bad boys who had exclusive rules for scorers like Michael Jordan and Kevin Durant. I'm not certain he would have been able to. I don't think he could have survived that. Just my 2 cents. But Zeke hates Mike. Well documented. Mike hates Zeke.
The funny part about that, though, is Mike never responds. He just lets Zeke talk.
Right. He just like,
yeah. All I will say this. I do believe kind of the same argument that I had with you know me, I'm not this big KD fan at all. But kind of like I said, anybody could have done what KD did with the this is when you start saying that what's
Wiggins.
Wiggins was an all-star, and we had that argument. Anybody you plug into there?
I said he was a superstar, and I used his all-star appearances.
I trapped you on that one because I made you go further than I even said, but I like that. But you say he was a superstar. So what team does he play for now? You don't even know. But
I think Wiggins is on my team. He plays in Miami Heat.
You think he's a superstar. How do you lose track of superstars? But anyway, at the end of the day, I do think in that Bulls team, you didn't need to have Michael Jordan to win the championships. I don't think you needed everything Jordan had. So I do think with KD there, KD was such a killer. Nobody had ever seen anything like that in the NBA at the time. So even if you're physical with him, the way that he could break you down with his shot and get shots off whenever he wants, nobody could do anything with him. Defensively, it would be a lot. Although KD just tried to play some D. He doesn't play it as well as Jordan did by any stretch, but he tries. He's for a guy that you would think so skinny that he wouldn't do it. He tries to play D. You know what? My next question got to be: you put LeBron in there. What do you think?
On the MJ Bulls?
Yeah, I say Bulls in 5 each every series.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron James is one of a kind. LeBron James is going to play a lot more defense. I do think LeBron James is a lot more selfless. So some of the shots that Michael Jordan took in moments that were inexplicable in terms of why he took the shot, a la Kobe Bryant. I'm not certain that LeBron would have took all the same shots, but I do think that LeBron would have done very well with that cast in a triangle offense. I'm objective enough to say that.
Yeah. Anyway, we won't go too much further. I think for sure they win with LeBron in that same role with that same team and that same coach. For sure. KD is interesting. It's an interesting stop because of what you could ask for him with the teams. And obviously it's a little different with the Rodman era than it was without the Rodman, because that saved you less. With Rodman there for sure, because I feel like the defensive responsibilities are diminished when you have Rodman out there.
Yeah.
Versus the other years. So anyway, it's an interesting question.
A great question. I mean, look, I frown
keep
upon
Keep hating Zeke. Stay relevant.
Yeah, I was gonna say I frown upon any discussion about Michael Jordan that was induced by Zeke at this point.
Keep hating, baby. Stay relevant.
I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's like, bro.
Fun fact: did you know that LeBron or Zeke and Jordan are only? What's their age difference? Do you know? What would you say?
I think you said this to me this week, so I'm in the know, because I was going to throw out a number and like, how do I know that number? I think you already said it to me. 3 years, was it?
Yeah, less than 2.
Less than 2.
Which floored me. I would have thought Zeke, but he has 3 NBA seasons ahead of him though, because he came out. He must have came out early or something, or the way the school worked out. But I was floored when I found that out. I would have thought they were 5-6 years apart.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway,
good stuff. I like that topic. I ain't mad at Zeke for hating because it gives us more things to talk about. But
don't hate, congratulate.
Yeah, good old Zeke, baby. Good
So what's next?
old Zeke. Yeah, so we'll see. NBA is heating up. Get excited about these playoffs because we're less than 10 games away from figuring out who's on first, who's on second, and away we go. MLB had its opening day, but they did not have it in traditional fashion, meaning, somehow, some way, the powers that be decided to have MLB opening day, Yankees versus Giants, was on Netflix. Do you like it?
No, I hate it. I can't stand streaming services for sports. I hate it. Except for boxing. I'm cool with that because then it's free.
Well, it's second day, opening week, second day. Two of the games moved to NBC, and the third one was on Peacock. Does that fall in the same category?
The problem is, okay, if people, you got to understand the way people watch games. Usually they want to watch two games because there's more than one game on. Maybe not regular season baseball, but like the streaming services just don't operate like regular TV. You got to log into them. It takes a second. And with the game, you like to flip off, move, right? That's just the nature of the game. I don't like it. And I don't like it. And I believe watching sports is a human right. And I think you should be able to watch all sports on network TV. And then
we'll see if the numbers come back, like we do all the time, man. We like to check the numbers like we just did with March Madness and viewership. I should have saw the viewership of the women's college basketball. I'll have that next week. As we did the first two rounds of the men's today. We'll do the following two rounds for the women next week on our show. But I'm interested to see. I imagine that we don't get the numbers as readily because the streaming services don't necessarily have to provide that for us.
They probably could provide it way more specifically, though.
Yeah. I mean, their whole business model is built on that data, but I'm not certain that they would share it with us. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But,
you share it with us. They'll share it with us whether they do it again.
Or they stop doing it. You got to stream to get the numbers.
No. If they keep doing it, then the numbers are great. If they don't keep doing it, then
So it's just interesting to see this pattern of us moving away from traditional network TV when it comes to something as like that is a seminal moment in the baseball season, opening day. So we're not dealing with these lightweight moments. That's a big moment in MLB baseball. Opening day.
What kills me is that you have more people complaining about NIL and these kids getting paid than they will about this. Like, this affects all of the people. The NIL has given you the best product you've ever seen in the history of college sports. The NIL. You can be mad because your team lost a player and be mad, but if you take a step back holistically, it's the best ever. This shit here, opening day, you got to go watch on Netflix. You don't have Netflix, and opening day, there's a guy I met with the other day in business, and he's like, I haven't missed a Cubs opening day in however many years or whatever. He was just a big fan. Just something that changes that and makes it more difficult. Now, obviously, he does it live, so that doesn't matter. But the fact that it's a big tradition, and now that they've moved it to Netflix, which you may not own, if that's something that you've always watched with your dad or your uncle, whatever, NIL is not going to stop you from doing it.
But that'd be the equivalent of even the people that go to the live games. Now, all of a sudden, they put a surcharge on it because they can. That's essentially for those who like to consume viewing it, they've put this additional surcharge on it. And I think the equivalent would be to put a surcharge on the ticket price because they know that they can.
Right.
Not because it helps the product. Right. We're still going to be watching 9 innings or more of baseball on opening day, but now we've got to pay some subscription to a streaming service. But the fact that you and I are surprised about that means that we're the frog. They're the damn scorpion. Networks, well, in addition to networks now, streaming services that are a byproduct and an extension of networks, a derivative of other, media modes and channels to get the product to the viewer. They're scorpions. here we are,
This
damn
metaphor,
frogs being
the
purists.
league is the scorpion. The league is the scorpion making these decisions.
Yeah, I mean, the league had to, it's got to be a media rights
Mhm.
deal with, in this case, Netflix. Fair.
Mhm.
So we're the frogs. The leagues remain the scorpions.
Mhm.
And if it didn't make dollars and cents, then they wouldn't have made the decision, probably. But it just seems to be counterproductive for a league that, by changing the rules, making the game a little more fast-paced, on the heels of USA Basketball losing in the championship of, the World Baseball Tournament, and we lost Venezuela, and this whole question about whether or not, where do we stand in the hierarchy of baseball in the world? It just seems like you want anybody and everybody to watch it, and that's just not the case. So we'll see what the numbers look like. 162 games in this episode of Out Like a Ram. We in March, in the beginning of a very, very long season. And on March 25th, 2026, opening day was on Netflix for the very first time. So we'll see if this is a trend or an outlier. But I'm not in love with the way this thing is looking in terms of consumption, man. I just want to be at my crib with my feet up, not paying anything more than what I'm already paying. But
Me too.
So many people have moved away from traditional cable that I get it, but I hate it at the same time. You get final word.
I agree. I've been outspoken about NFL Thursday night TV being on Amazon Prime, and I didn't like it, so I don't like this. I do like it for fights though, because they're free. I like that. I like it.
Give us free. What's not free anymore is them amazing women who have built true value in the product known as the WNBA. They have signed a new CBA, baby. We've been covering it here for a while. Shout out to the ladies of the WNBA. Shout out to them capturing the value. Shout out to the players from the WNBA who were entrepreneurial enough to start this thing called Unrivaled and have equity positions and show that there could be in the WNBA's offseason a domestic version of women's basketball that not only could draw in viewership, but could pay the players a very competitive salary so they don't have to go to Russia and risk being imprisoned for several months like Brittany Griner. Like Unrivaled, for better or for worse, needs to be at least a footnote, if not a whole chapter of how we got to this CBA. Shout out to the women, the basketball players. I was going to say WNBA, but basketball players, Unrivaled and WNBA. The basketball players that have upped the level and the quality of the basketball, have upped the level and of interest when it comes to watching it, have increased the Q scores and the marketability and the fact that we know who they are now, they're household names. Shout out to them, because if nothing else, that is probably the most key factor in what was leveraged for the players. Shout out to Nafisa Collins for literally calling out the commissioner. Shout out to them, man. They got their CBA signed. And this new CBA, talking about
I'd be remiss if I didn't say shout out to Caitlin Clark.
I was going to say Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. I just said players holistically that increase the interest.
Let's just say all this shit started with Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark, yes.
Stop. Stop. We gotta give her credit, man. I just feel like if it was anybody else, we'd be mad. But she started it. You gotta give it to her. I
have her hashtagged in the write-up, but I also have Angel Reese hashtagged.
I'm saying that you could take hers off. I'm just you could take hers off. It's Caitlin Clark. She started the phenomenon of women's basketball, and there's been a lot of phenomenal women that have kept it moving. And when you peeled back the sheet, you got to see a good product that was there. So shout out to them for that. You gotta shout her out.
No, man, she deserves credit. She deserves credit. But I think that, and my only but is not to qualify her credit. She deserves credit. I just add to that credit, Unrivaled, who in their first year didn't have Caitlin Clark, also deserves credit. Because
Absolutely.
those ladies being willing to be entrepreneurial and show that there is value in the actual game.
Facts.
I think also played a big role. And Caitlin Clark, for every superhero, you need a villain, which is why I add Angel Reese in there. Because Caitlin Clark, while she was an amazing player, I think that the fanfare came from the fact that there was also a villain. And that's just how we like storylines in America that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it was, small school, Iowa versus big school, LSU.
LSU won.
They did, but Caitlin Clark arguably won in terms of the competition for fans.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was race. Maybe
I'm going to say this. I wanted LSU to beat Caitlin Clark. I didn't want her to win. I wanted Angel Reese to win. You know what I mean? Just human nature. You got an Iowa team that doesn't really seem like they care too much about your demographic, and you got an LSU team that seems like it represents it. I'm a human. I wanted to see LSU win, but I got to call it what it is. I wanted to see LSU beat Caitlin Clark. I wanted to see. I didn't want her to get I didn't want her Cinderella story to be that sweet. You know what I mean? I didn't want it to be. It's too sweet.
We got limits to this.
It was getting too sweet. Yeah. But that being said, all praise due to Caitlin Clark for all that, even the Unrivaled, and just she started it. And I just feel like I'm not gonna.
She did.
She started it.
I'm not gonna take anything from her.
If it wasn't for her, there would be, even though she wasn't involved in the Unrivaled, it was a story that she wasn't involved. That became a story.
Yeah, so, you had to document the fact that she wasn't playing. So she got mentioned even though she was not participating.
Yeah,
I'm not taking anything from Caitlin Clark whatsoever, man. And
I'm not taking anything from the rest of the women out there, because the product had to be what they thought it was. Yeah, I got you to the party, but you had to DJ, you had to have drinks, you got to have atmosphere. I got you to the party, but the party was jumping when I got there. So I'm gonna give credit to all the women that came before Caitlin and the women that are playing today that are doing great. I just feel like you can't speak about the WNBA and not mention her name. That's just one.
On March 24th, 2026, the new CBA was signed.
Mm-hmm.
It covers the next 6 seasons, 2026 to 2032. The highlights of the new terms. The average salaries have gone up to $583,000, which is a huge increase. Huge increase. Enhanced benefits. Max salary has gone up $1.4 million, which is a huge increase. Increased team support. The salary cap went up $7 million, which is a huge increase from the $1.5 million in 2025. Minimum salary will increase to $300,000. These are meaningful changes. And so to all of the women before the current players that laid the foundation, that made the sacrifices, that established the baseline of what it meant to play professionally, play basketball professionally in the United States. Shout out to them too, because while they won't get any of the money, they won't get any of the benefits, hopefully they do take pride in this doesn't happen without them. So shout out to the WNBA signing its new collective bargaining agreement. And Caitlin Clark absolutely deserves nothing but the utmost credit in terms of getting us around the corner and getting the speed and the momentum that we needed to get here. But I want to also acknowledge all the women who aren't Caitlin Clark, the names we don't know, the women that did precede this current CBA, the ones who were underpaid. And hopefully they take some solace and some pride in the fact that this CBA got signed. Shout out WNBA. Score one for the players. We almost out of here, man. I hate this part of the day because that means I gotta, move on and do some other things. It's March, baby. And so out like a ram, at the end of March, you have the lion's share of NFL pro days on college campuses. There's been about 40 of them over the last several days, give or take. For those of you who don't know, a college pro day is same general concept as the NFL Combine. Some of the athletes that participated and competed in the Combine will also go and compete on their own college campus for their pro day. The advantage is in that situation is you're on your home campus environment that you're familiar with. You've got your teammates, the ones that are both competing with you, trying to make it to the NFL themselves, and also the undergrads, the younger players that are returning, they're supporting you. It's a crescendo moment of, all right, I've made it through this program. Notre Dame, Georgia, Alabama, doesn't matter where, all of these colleges host a pro day. And the NFL scouts come to your college campus. And so they're on a world tour right now. The college scouting departments from each one of the teams are on a world tour going to these pro days. And so those are the NFL pro days on the college campuses. What I found interesting is that Jeremiah Love, who had done so well in the NFL Combine back in February, that he did not need to compete in his college pro day at Notre Dame. He still attended, supported his teammates, did all the media parts, did the interviews there. So I thought that was a reflection of some of the stuff that's still good with college sports, that he would find it meaningful to him to still get on campus and support his teammates. And because he's there, right, there might be a team that doesn't think they have a shot. They know that Jeremiah Love is going to be on campus. They're going to send somebody from their scouting department just to have an interaction with him. He increases the overall attendance by just being there. So I thought, shout out to Jeremiah Love. But college pro days, man, for all of you guys who did not get invited to the NFL Combine, which I didn't back in my day.
They didn't invite me this year.
Anybody, you got to check your
ageism.
Mail, man. Check your mail.
Age discrimination suit.
Did you check your mail? Did you?
I did not check my mail.
For all those who did not make the NFL Combine, we wish you nothing but the best as you go through your NFL Pro Day on your college campus. And use this as an opportunity, a springboard. This is your audition. Believe in yourself. Go compete like crazy. Some of the players that compete in these pro days will not make it to the NFL. This is their last hurrah. So whether you are in a position to utilize this to make it to the NFL roster or the training camp, or this is your last hurrah on a college campus, enjoy it, man, because you'll blink and it'll all be gone. Just want to make sure I said that before we get out of here. Anything about the pro days before I turn to Tiger?
No, just, sometimes you don't see these guys. If you don't pay attention to your school, you won't hear about the pro days, and sometimes the fanfare isn't there. But some guys put up crazy numbers. These kids are just getting so athletic and so fast, jumping so high and so far. It's amazing. I realize you got to be damn good, man, to your numbers. If you don't crush it on the field, testing your way into the league is getting more and more difficult because so many people are just putting up crazy numbers.
Crazy numbers, man. So, but blessings to all you guys, man, competing, trying to live your dream, man. Go get it, man. We wish you nothing but the best from the Ball Hog Sports Talk. Got to give Tigers big swing. Tigers big swing for the TGL. And at one point, I thought that was a top golf league. It's not. It is not. Because there's an animation to it. It stands for Tomorrow's Golf League. But they got technology involved, hitting into a screen. It looks like Top Golf. I watched it because Tiger was playing in it. I'm going to check the viewership because I want to see how Tiger impacted viewership. Tiger is an investor in TGL. But as a golfer, as there have been murmurs about possibly seeing Tiger play in the Masters, as a golfer only, business aside, what did you think about Tiger swinging that good old iron again in the TGL event that just happened this week?
I mean, I love to see Tiger out there. I hope I don't know how he tore an Achilles and how he gets so hurt. He must swing hard. They tell me I swing too hard. He must swing too hard. I don't know how he's hurt like that. But I mean,
so you just gave Tiger some golf advice. That's what
I have absolutely no interest in golf whatsoever unless Tiger's playing. And if he does, I have interest. So I hope he's back because then I would care. Otherwise, I could care less.
It shows just how one person, you mentioned Caitlin Clark, and now we're talking about Tiger Woods, but how one person could change the whole dynamic, swing the pendulum from, I ain't watching that, to, oh man, what time does it come on? The power of the brands, man. Each one of these people, these superstars, in this case, Tiger, so much power in their marketability that they can literally force us to turn the TV on. So shout out to Tiger. I watched it. It's the first time I sat down and watched an entire TGL event. Fun, but it's a little weird to watch them swinging into a screen.
I know. It's like you're watching. It's like you watch people play video games. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. But this generation does that too. They watch people play video games. Some of the streamers that are streaming themselves playing video games have millions and millions and millions of views. So as we try to get our views up and get these marketing dollars in, I can't knock. I ain't gonna knock the game. I am not gonna knock the game. It is what it is. But all right, let's get on out here, man, with Teachable Moment. Teachable Moment is about pricing risk. Every week we try to take my hat as Professor Brown and use it for some good. This week it's for simple and plain, it's for pricing risk. And in this day and age, we talked about how the athletic departments are charged with figuring out how to spend their budget, whether it be college basketball, college football, or any of the revenue generating sports, women's college basketball also. But the allocation of those funds are very important. And everybody is not spending it the same. And I guess that's the best way to say that is everybody's not spending it the same. You got to be very careful about how you spend it, to whom you spend it with, because everybody's not spending it the same. There's one particular story that comes to mind. University of Kentucky. While the University of Kentucky was number one in its budget this year, $20 million, they also had in that P&L on their line item, they have somebody that they paid $2 million to transfer from Arizona State, a forward/center, Jaden Quaintance, paid $2 million this season, transfer from Arizona State. He made a grand total of 20 points. And again, I'm not a mathematician, but that's $100,000 per point. That is not money well spent. And there's a pricing risk that you have. Anytime that you are looking at these decisions that are being made, there's a pricing risk that you are taking. Pricing risk in finance involves you have to quantify the probability of a financial loss and adjusting your returns or costs accordingly. And with each one of these decisions that are being made, each one of these athletes that they are bringing in, each one of these coaches that they are bringing in, it is now incumbent upon the general manager of these programs to use some sort of pricing the risk and using some model, risk-adjusted discount rates, all of these things that they're going to have to figure out to understand just how to price said risk. So we don't have too many examples of a 200. I mean, you get $2 million and make 20 points or $100,000 per point.
Your point had to be sexy, like between the leg 3-pointers.
They want to,
like, you know what I mean? Some
only in America.
Dunking with your feet.
Let's get out of here with the Ball Hawk Spotlight. You get first dance, you know what it is, the ball hawk spotlight, where the ball is passed to you. The rest of the lights go low. There is one spotlight, and it's on you. We need to play, and we need it bad. And we are asking you to be a ball hawk here.
Eminem playing in the background. One shot, one
Oh,
opportunity.
yeah. You can hear it, right?
I can hear it. I can feel it.
Let's go off the beaten path. Anything from any parts of sports, business, entertainment, something that people might not be talking about, but we talk about it because it's the ball hawk spotlight moment. What you got?
So, my spotlight moment is going to be a little bit of a question to you. Is there? What do you make of this? So I don't know if you've heard of Team USA flag football team played against NFL plus some celebrities, kind of in like an exhibition style, 5-on-5, not even 7-on-7, 5-on-5. Or could have been 5-on-6. I think the court.
I heard about it. I heard Odell Beckham did well enough where NFL teams might be. Look, I saw a one-handed catch.
Yeah, the one-handed catch the back end zone. I think his right foot was out, but that's just me. But they got beat down. I mean, the Tom Brady's team lost 43-16. Joe Burrow's team lost 39-16. And then Jalen Hurts' team lost 34-26. They tried a little something. But, they're showing more and more, and I've always kind of had a negative about 7-on-7 and all that. It's not real football. And to me, this just kind of showed it even more. You get these people in 7-on-7 who are, the rules are a little different. You can't do things a certain way. Physicality doesn't come into it. You never had to get kissed. You can go across the middle and catch a ball and not really worry about anything. There's no pass rush. There's no risk of, getting sacked. It's a lot to me. So what do you think of that? I mean, they're talking about the Olympics having 7-on-7. Do the NFL players learn the new rules and come play, or do we just let these
I think Shady McCoy said it best. He's like, a lot of the guys that play flag football, guys that didn't make it, and you could tell that the stakes were a lot higher for them because they've been talking about how they should have made it, would have made it, could have made it for a long time, and now they've got a chance at the expense of these NFL players that are trying I'm assuming by way of exhibition, just trying to create some legitimacy for flag football. They're trying to prove their point. And to sort of use your same analogy from earlier, it's like, bro, they scorpions. They are actually flag football players, right? They are who we thought they were. Like, this is what they do. This is not a hobby for them. So I think that NFL players should stay clear. Do I think that flag football is a legitimate thing? Sure. If you want to make, a lane where adults can play flag football and there's a market for it, anything that anyone is willing to watch is entertainment. So if people will watch it in the Olympics or otherwise, go for it. But for me, on my Sundays, I like to hear some pads clacking. You know what I'm saying? I need to see somebody try to adjust the face mask a little bit. That's what I'm talking about. That's just my personal taste. How about you?
If the guys want to play in it, then I say let them play, honor them for being the football players that make the sport popular and the world champs. But part of me realizes that this isn't the same game. And maybe sending our NFL guys is not the best foot forward for the Olympics. And you're going to get people doing stupid shit too. If you lose one player, it's disgusting. We play a dangerous game.
Well, that's how they changed the Pro Bowl. They were doing that flag football on the beach in the Pro Bowl, and somebody tore their knee. I don't remember who tore it. But
I remember that he played for the Patriots, tore his knee up, a very popular running back. That really bothered me with that. So, if they want to play, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you were a kid, you dreamt of playing in the NFL or NBA, whatever, but you dreamt of playing in competing in the Olympics. I'm sure I did. I wanted to be an Olympian.
Yeah.
I thought that just
for me track, but
but just something. So if you are an NBA basketball player and you have NFL football player and you have the opportunity to go win a gold medal for your country, I think that's the experience that I would leave up to them.
Yeah. All right. Very fair. I'll go out with this, man. AAU season, baby. We're back. I am encouraging, as this episode is called Out Like a Ram. I'm encouraging everybody that make sure you have balance. And this is to the athletes and to the parents. Make sure you have balance. The AAU teams are going to put all type of schedules on you. It'll be very demanding on your body. Have balance. Recovery is a part of it, and your body is a body. It's not a machine. So make sure you take time to recover. Make sure you take time to rest. Make sure you take time to be in the gym to develop outside of that team, because when it's all said and done, that AAU team will be around next year. It'll be around in 5 years when you are out of high school, and you want to make sure that your body is in position to take the opportunities that might come. So stay healthy. Stay focused on your development, and keep the main thing, which is to get recruited for college, not help said team win a tournament. Church. I also wanted to say this before we got out of here, man. Out like a ram. Lou Holtz, who we celebrated on our Be Legendary episode of the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. The very day after he was admitted to hospice. He lived a few weeks after that, but he was buried last week. I was not there. I know a lot of players came to town in South Bend. You were one of them. And I say it's a very good way to end this show out like a ram, because just as boisterous as he was in building an amazing team, just as influential as he was in turning around programs, just as positive as he was in getting his players to believe that no matter what the circumstances would be in a game, we had a chance to win. Even as they celebrated his life and put him to rest, he went out like a ram, because so many people from so many different teams and generations came to South Bend to celebrate that man's life and also have a miniature reunion. So, Coach, celebrate your life, celebrate your legacy and all that you did in bringing so many young men to South Bend, Indiana, to experience the amazing thing called Notre Dame, but also experience one another and create amazing friendships that last all the way until today, even throughout your funeral services. I'll give you last words since you were there, and then we're going to get out of here, brother.
I thought it was a beautiful time to come together, to meet people from different areas and have the instant brotherhood with some people that you just met, and see some people that you didn't think knew who you were, because they were, slightly before, slightly after you walk up and, call you by name.
They know you from the Ball Hawk Sports Talk.
It is funny how many people say, "Oh, you do that show, huh? You got yeah." So I did find out some people that did the show. As I always say to them, comment please when you come out here so we know you're here. But I'm going to steal what Reggie Brooks said. They say Notre Dame was, a 44 for 40, 4 years of school, 40-year decision. Some people took 5. I only took 3, but I'm not here to brag. But on Coach Holtz, your passing, man, you still owe me 9 years, man. So when I see you again, you owe me 9 years, man. You got me 9 years, so you didn't give me the full 40. So I think we're gonna have to pass that debt off to Skip. Skip got me now by 9.
Yeah, Skip got it now, man. Mm-hmm. You got the juice now, Skip. But what an amazing man, what an amazing life. And hats off to you for being able to make it there for an amazing celebration, an amazing institution. So in ways, we are ending right where we started, man. You recognize just how blessed you were. Mm-hmm. I'll double down on that, man. We are truly blessed. I'm in my 49th episode, baby. Aries, stand up. It's our time. Y'all act a donkey. Wherever you go, man, be an Aries, man. Out like a ram. I am happy that March is ending. I'm happy that the weather is changing. And I am most happy that I get to do this thing with that dude right there, the Big Flow Show, and also with the people that continue to support us. The Big Flow Show came to you from the Middle Coast. I'm your boy, B. Brown, ESQ, a.k.a. the Ball Hawk, a.k.a. the Mouth of the South, a.k.a. Mr. Excessive Celebration, a.k.a. Breezy, a.k.a. Coach Bobby, a.k.a. former Councilman Brown. This has been our show. It has been the Out Like a Ram episode of the Ball Hawk Sports Talk. And you know what the Ball Hawk Sports Talk is? It's where the managerial decisions of big finance meet the weekly storylines of sports and entertainment. We ask you humbly and kindly, please like, comment, share, tag a friend, tag a foe, tag anyone that you know, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel and our podcast on Spotify. And with that, it is Friday. We at the end of March. Enjoy March Madness this weekend. Let's go, Irish. The ladies are still marching. And we'll be back next week. We is out.
Peace.